Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at question 7 and 8 on the January 2022 CXC Mathematics past paper. I'm going to get right into it. It says a sequence of figures is made from lines of unit length and dots. The lines form a series of octagons and square. The dots are placed at each vertex. The first three figures in the sequence are shown below. So we have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. Now this has 8 sides, that's why I call it an octagon, and as you can see the squares are placed in between the octagons as you can see here. Now figure 3 of the sequence is shown by itself below, and more lines of unit lengths and dots of figure 3, so we're supposed to add more lines so we can actually get figure 4. And it's pretty straightforward. Figure 1 has 1 octagon, then 2 octagons, 3 octagons, so naturally you're going to have 4 octagons. So you're going to use your rulers and your pencil to get this as neat as possible, alright? I'm actually using my free hand, so it's not going to be as neat as it should be. But you need to ensure that you have it neatly done. There we go. So we actually have the octagons. I'm going to use a different color to put in the dots. So we're going to have a dot there, dot here, dot here, dot here, dot here, and dot there. And we need to put in the squares that fall in between, alright? So all you have to do is just draw it up like that, come down, down like that, come back down. And we put in the dots right there. And that's how you get the easy 2 marks. Now please remember that these lines must be straight and have equal length. Alright, let's go to the next page. It says, and if I pull this up a bit, the number of dots and the number of lines that form the perimeter of the square of the shape P forms a pattern. The values for the dots and the perimeter for the first 3 figures are written in the table below. So your job is basically to complete the table. Now, if you look, there's a pattern. You can see 8, 16, 24. I'm going up by 8. I have 8, 14, 20. I'm going up by 6. Now, you have 2 options. I can go back to figure 4, count the number of dots, and count the perimeter. But sometimes, if you're in a rush and it's going to take too long, just follow the pattern. So figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. What's going to be right here? Now, since I'm moving directly from figure 3 to 4, this is also going to follow the same pattern. I'm going up by 8. So 16, 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. Let me get a brighter color here. 32. Same pattern over here. 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. 20 plus 6 is 26. Where do I go next? Now I'm going to have to figure out the figure here, and I'm going to have to figure out the number of dots. So I'm going to do it smartly. Let's find the general pattern down here, and we can use it to work this out. Alright, let's go. Now, if you look at the number of figures, look at the number of dots and look at the figure. 8, 2 give you 16, 3 give you 24. So it's almost as if you're saying your 8 times table. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24, 8 times 4 is 32, so you're multiplying 8 by the figure. So in other words, the figure is n, and I'm going to multiply 8 by the figure, so I'm going to have 8 times n, which is just 8n. And that's it. What about the perimeter? Alright, you're going up by 6, and that's consistent. 6, 14 plus 6, 20, 20 plus 6, 26. You don't even have to think about anything, it's going to be 6n. Alright, whatever you're going up by, you just simply write that down if it's consistent. 6n. Alright, now but let's go back to when the figure is 1. If I put 1 here, 6 times 1 is 6. I'm still short. I need 2 more to make 8. So it's 6n and you add 2 more. And you have the pattern. Let us see if it works. Figure 2. 6 times 2 is 4. 6 times 2, sorry, is 12. And 12 plus 2 is 14. See, it does work. Alright. Now, we can come to the middle one now, where you have 86. Since you have a general formula for everything, you just simply need to equate the general formula, which is 6n plus 2, to my 86 value. And then we carry over the 2, so we have 6n equal 84. Because we know that 86 minus 2 will give me 84. We divide both sides by 6. So n is equal to 6 into 8 is 1, carry the 2. 6 into 24 is 4, so n is 14. So I know that this is going to be 14, which means that the middle one, which is the number of dots, is simply 8 times 14 because the number of dots is 8 times the figure. Alright? So you can put your calculator and do this one. 8 times 14 gives me 112. 112. And guess what? You have just gotten 6 marks in a quick time. Part C. For the figure n greater than 1, the number of dots is greater than its parameter p. Determine the value of n for a figure which is the difference between the d, number of dots, and the parameter is 36. All you have to do is write down the formula for the number of dots. The formula for the number of dots is 8n. Difference means you subtract. You're going to subtract the formula for the parameter. But because you have 6n plus 2, it's two things. You have to put that 6n plus 2 in a bracket. And the difference between them is 36, which means you equate this to 36. Now all you have to do is expand the bracket and tidy up. So you're going to have 8n. You're going to have minus 6n, because the minus sign means you're going to change the sign of everything in the bracket. Minus 6n minus 2 equal 36. 8n minus 6n is 2n minus 2 equal 36. And we carry it over. So we're going to have 2n. Since the 2 is negative over here, it's going to go over as a positive. So it's 38 plus 2. 36 plus 2, which is 38. And I'm going too fast. 2n is equal to 38. And we divide both sides by 2. So n is equal to 2 into 38 would give me 19. So the value of n is 19. And there you have 10 marks. So this is a question that you can run through much quicker than the amount of time that they give you to do it. Pattern question, not normally a challenge if you follow the pattern carefully. Alright? Let's go over to my next page. Right here, let me fix this up so we can see it. We're at question 8. It says a function f is such that x maps on to 3 plus 5x minus x squared. Now guys, this really means the same thing as just saying f of x equal 3 plus 5x minus x squared. This is just an next way of writing it using the mapping function. It says complete the table below. Alright, guess what now? This is how you make your calculator work for you. So you pull up your calculator, that's going to be on. Alright, so I'm simply going to put in the function 3 plus. Alright, now what we do is to put the x value and we get the f of x value. So we have negative 1 giving me negative 3. I need to find out what 0 will give me. So I'm going to have 5. I can use the bracket, put 0 in there, close the bracket, minus, open bracket, I'm going to have 0 in there, and I'm going to square it. Although I never need to put in the 0. Okay, you know, once 0 squared is 0, 5 times 0 is 0. But just to show you. So you're going to get 3 here. Now for the next value, all you have to do is go back and change the 0 to 1. So let's go back. Delete, put 1 there, come across, delete, we put 1 there, we press equal, we're going to get 7. We're going to do the same thing for 4 and 6. Alright, so we go ahead, we go back, use the back arrow, we delete, we put 4, we come across, we delete, we put 4. That's 7 as well. Alright, very interesting here. Let's go back there. So you're going to delete, you're going to put in 6, go across, you delete the x value, you put in 6, negative 3. So you have negative 3 here. So you have a symmetry taking place here, as you can see. Negative 3, 3, 7, 9, 9, 7, 3, negative 3. You could have followed the pattern to get back the values, but nothing wrong with using your calculator as well, just to be on the safe side. So you have something naturally symmetrical here. Which is what the quadratic function is all about. So let's go down and see if there's anything else they require from us. No, they don't require anything else from us. So let's go back. Let's go to the next page. Alright, so they have plotted part of the graph for us between negative 1 and 6. Let's see what we're looking at here. And what we're required to do here is that we're required to draw the graph. So let us see what's going on. They have put in this point, they have put in that point. We need to put in the other point. So let's go to the previous one. So I need to put in 0, 3, and 1 7. So 0 on the x-axis, with 3 on the y-axis, which is going to be right here, halfway between 2 and 4. I also have, if we go back, previous, we have 1 with 7. So next, we have 1 going with 7. So we go all the way up to 7. Alright. I think we also have 4 going with 7, because this is naturally symmetrical here. And I think we have, let me go back, just to be on the safe page. I think I'm missing one more point. Previous. I have 6 going with negative 3. So 6 going with, here's 6, you're going to have to go all the way down here to get negative 3. And that's it. Now this is a freehand graph, so you're going to use your free hand to draw it. Alright? Now, once you put your hand on the paper, you don't want to take that up. Because I'm not necessarily using my book, it's going to be a bit more difficult for me, so I'm going to have to take up my hand a few times. But once, normally when you're drawing this graph, once you put your hand on the paper, you don't take it up. Let me see if I can get this better. I need to get it as good as possible. Right? Because it's so symmetrical, it's not so difficult to draw, especially when drawing it on a book. But I'm actually using a letter writing thing here, so it's a bit more challenging for me to draw. I'll put the point right here. Alright, not bad at all. Alright, now let's draw this side over here. So I'm going to come through my points. You try to get it as smooth as possible. This part here is a bit crooked, not as smooth as you want it. Alright, let me go again. There we go. Right, and then so we can go. Now, if you just turn the paper and draw your hand right around, it won't be much of a problem. Right, now I think this is a bit too high because it's not having that natural flow. Let me go. Based on the flow right here, it seems like this go right around smoothly right here. Now we know it's a graph, it's going to have a turning point, so we know we don't have a turn somewhere. Alright, that's a bit more natural there. Okay, so we have the graph, we have the axes labeled already. Let's go, and that's 3 mark. Let's go down and see what else they require from us. It says write down the equation of axis of symmetry on the graph f of x equal 3 plus 5x minus x squared. The axis of symmetry is a line that divides this graph exactly into halves. And since it's already symmetrical for us, all we need to do is to find 2 points that are on the same point, like this point right here, which is at 2, 9, and 3, 9, and we're going to draw a line right through the center. Alright, control. I think I missed it a bit here. Let me try to get it right in the center right here. Alright. I'm not getting it as smooth as I want, but it's going to be right on the bold line. Let's go. Alright, it came off a bit. That is how I want it. I'm going to go sit down on the line first. Then pull it down. Alright, but it's going to be on this line, guys. Alright, so you're going to use your ruler to get it on this line. Now we don't use double lines, but mine is a bit off, it's a bit hard to draw here, so that is where it's going to fall. So if I go down here now, it passes, and of course this is right between 2 and 3, which means it's 2.5. It's on the x-axis, so it's going to be x equal 2.5. Not bad there, right? State the maximum value of the function. Now the maximum value is the highest point on the function. So let's go back up to the function. Right here, this is the highest point. So all I would need to do is to go right across. Right across, right across, right across. You could use a straight dotted line. Now if I'm looking correctly here, based on where this has turned, this is telling me that it's going to be, if this is 6, this is 8. So you have 6, 7, 8. You have 8 here, you're going to have 9 here in the middle. So it's going to be about 9.2. Not that perfect, but I can also use my calculator to check it. Because my symmetry, my line of symmetry, which is x equal 2.5, can also tell me. So let's see if it works. So I will just put 2.5 into the function. 2.5, 2.5. So this is 9.25, and I was saying it's 9.2, so I'm not that off. So approximately 9.3 to 1 decimal place. Let's see how they want it. Let me go down and see. Now, because this is freehand, guys, they won't kill you for being off a little bit. Alright, from my graph, it looks like 2, looks like 9.2. So since I'm stating it, I could have it as 9.2. Although it should be up a little bit. So that's why you can see why they have it as 9.25. But they won't kill you for that. Alright, let's pull this graph back down now. And we're going to go to the next page to see what is happening over there. Now it says, let me just remove this a bit. It says, write on the coordinates of the point where the line y equal 3 minus a half x crosses the x-axis. Now, where any line crosses the x-axis, the y value is 0. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to equate the function to 0. Right? I'm going to replace the y value with 0. So I'm going to have 3 minus a half x equal to 0. Alright, you can carry over the 3, or you can carry over the half to make it positive. So I can have 3 equal to a half x. I need to get x by itself. So we'll just multiply both sides by 2 since we're dividing by 2. So x is equal to 6. It says write down the coordinates of the point. Now, this is just the x value. As you know, of course, once you're going to have it in the coordinate system, you're going to put x value and then the y value. So the x value is 6, the y value is 0. Alright, part 2, where it crosses the y-axis. That is called the y-intercept, which is a part of the formula. It's a constant, which is 3. So, where it crosses the y-axis, the y value will be the y-intercept, which is 3, and the x value would naturally be 0. So I'm going to have 0, 3. Now you only need 2 set of points to draw a line, so you should know that that is going to be the follow-up question. How do I draw it? I need to find 6, 0 on the grid and 0, 3. Let's go back. So 6, 0 is right here, all the way. Let me use the green or the yellow so you can know the difference. Right here. And of course, 0, 3 is going to be right here. So I just need a straight line going through these 2 points. Alright, good. Here we go. That's my straight line. Now let's go back. So you just draw a straight line connecting those 2 points and you'll have it there. Now let's go back now. Now the final question on this page says, using a graph, determine the solution to the equations. So where these 2 graphs intersect, that is where you're going to have the solution. So let's go back to the previous page. We're going to put a dot where the 2 of them intersect. Let me use, probably I could use blue. So this point right here and this point right here represents my solution. Now let's find those 2 points. Now on the x-axis, each line represents point 1. So I have point 1, point 2, point 3. But it looks like it's in between. It says 0.15, and on the y-axis, each line represents 0.2. So 4.2, 4.4, 4.6, 4.8 is up there, so it's going to be 4.7. Alright? So I'm going to have 0. So let's go across 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.35. And of course, if you go on the y-axis, 4.2, 4.6, 4.8, 4.9. So let's go across. So the solution is 0.35, and my y value was 4. What did I say it was previous? The y value was 4.246. So 4.7. Yeah, 4.7. with 4.7. That's one solution. Now let's go back to the next graph now. And let's go back to the graph and see what the next one is. So over here, I have 5 here. So 5.5 is in the middle. So this looks like about 5.6. Alright, what about on the y-axis? So let's see, 0.2, 0.4. So this looks like 0.3. So I'm going to have 5.6 with 0.3 on the y-axis. So I'm going to have 5.6, 0.3. Remember, you state the x value and then the y value. Alright? Very important, I will know that. So the x value goes before the y value. Alright? So where the two graphs go to each other naturally is the solution to the set of equations. That's what we call the graphical technique. Alright? Very good. Now please note that I have done the questions from 1 to 6 and they're in my previous video, which will be in the playlist.